Evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more casually ranked climbing the ladder for Season 4 with my Warrior Control deck. Now, I made one small change to this deck. I took out the Battle Rage, which was very annoying and dead in a lot of games, and replaced it with a Core-Chron Elite, which is a little bit of an experiment. So, there were two things I wanted to add. One was Taunt, and the other was Removal/Reach. And those two desires, of course, are frequently with each other at odds, because taunting cards usually do not kill things. So I decided to go for the Reach/Removal with the Core-Chron Elite. It gives me an extra way of killing Azure Drakes, which are otherwise a bit annoying, not quite big enough to use a Shield Slam or an Execute on, not small enough to die to Fiery War Axe or Whirlwind, and it also can just go onto an empty board and hang out. It also gives extra damage if I need to try to finish off the opponent. That's 4 damage, or perhaps 6 if there's a Cruel Taskmaster in the vicinity. So we'll see how that works. It's a very, subtle change. It's going to take a while before that card comes up in a match. A and B comes up often enough that I can actually tell. But one thing I'm certain is I do not want Battle Rage anymore. I'm almost never happy to see it. We're just going to have to make do with, our Acolytes and whatnot. Okay, so my opponent Mind Visioned me. He might have Shield Slam, which is hilarious, because that way that's nothing. He could also get Cleave, which is really not that good against me either. These two cards, however, are both pretty solid. Alright, so what do you play here? Well, I'm going to go ahead and play the Acolyte of Pain. Now, this is risky because, of course, a Shadow Word Pain will kill this, and it will not give me any cards. But it does use up the most of my mana, and I think better that this died of Shadow Word Pain than the Armor Smith at the end of the day, because the extra armor could be very nice, especially if this ends up being another fatigue match, as they sometimes are against priests. In the light's name. Right, Light Warden, he could still play Shadow Word Pain, and he does not. He plays the Armor Smith, which is pretty good. So unfortunately here, Cleave has a 2/3 chance of killing the Light Warden, but we all know that can definitely fail. I could play Frothing Berserker, run into the Shield Bearer with my Axe and with my Acolyte, and beat this up to be a 4/4. But then I cannot kill the Light Warden, because I don't have any armor for which to use Shield Slam. But no, we're going to go ahead and Cleave here. And just hope it hits. Okay, it does. So Papa Boris, why didn't you just kill the Shield Bearer first, and the Light Warden would have been guaranteed to die? Well, the reason for that is that this way I can hit that, play the Armor Smith, and run in here and get a card. So now I'm going to get probably 2 cards out of the Acolyte. I say probably because, again, there's a chance, of course, this is still going to get Shadow Word Pained. And I'm threatening to get the full 3 cards out of this bad boy if my opponent doesn't stop this situation right here. So the drawback is I didn't play a Frothing Berserker, but the advantage is I got to kill off his Light Warden, which I'm pretty happy about. Now, he's collecting armor. I don't really care about that. This is going to be a control game. I'm not that concerned about him having armor this early on. What I'm more concerned about is getting some card advantage. So he spends half his mana healing us, which I'm pretty okay with, and hits me in the face, which I'm also okay with. Wow, that was delectable. Alright, so the only way that I can kill this is if I use Shield Block. However, it didn't really do anything to me this turn, so I'm content to let it go. We're going to do this, start to build up our Frothing Berserker. And now I do still have the option of killing this with Shield Block if I run in my own Armor Smith and then Shield Slam. It is an option. Is this thing worth killing with a Shield Slam? I don't think it is. Just ignore it and hit him in the face. So this thing is at a very cool 4/4, which is difficult for priests to deal with. He could, of course, run the Armor Smith into my Armor Smith to buff this up to be a 6/4, then Shadow Word Death would work. But if this gets Shadow Word Death, well, that's 1 less Shadow Word Death for Grommash Hellscream later on, which I'm very happy about. He will copy it, which is an interesting choice. Does he have another way of weighing the tides in his favor? He does not. Alright. That's fine. Well, he let this thing live. Maybe he had no way to stop it. Alright, so Stampeding Kodo is, of course, one answer to the Armor Smith. Then I have Shield Slam to kill off his Berserker. Well, that just seems lovely-dovely. Let's do it. Stampeding Kodo, I recognize one of the slightly more unconventional cards in this deck, to be sure. But I've had good luck with it. There are times it sits in my hand, but I still have not felt the keen pangs of hatred for it like I did for Battle Rage, so I'm going to keep it in for now. You could have a big game Hunter to kill the Frothing Berserker at this point. Or you could have nothing. Now, we've had this happen before against Priests, where they just do a whole bunch of nothing. And it's because they're saving up spells to do a board clear with the Wild Pyromancer. Acolyte of Pain doesn't really help because he'll just, you know, kill the Acolyte of Pain first, like a Shadow Word Pain. Then again, he didn't have Shadow Word Pain earlier. He would use a Shadow Word Pain, you'd think, to kill the Kodo right now, unless, of course, he thinks he can get the board cleared out with, like, a Soul Priest, Circle of Healing shenanigan. Can I win somehow? If I had a Pyromancer, I could actually consider trying to buff this up so much that it wins. Well, let's play Shield Block. Cycle for a card. Slam. And do I dare play this engine knowing it might die to some kind of board clear shenanigans with Pyromancers, Soul Priests, and whatnot? Alright, we'll just keep it steady. He did nothing last turn. He did absolutely nothing. So I'm like, okay, well if that was all you could do with 6 mana, what can you do with 7 mana? I'm getting him pretty low. I'm keeping my cards close to my chest. I've got Shield Slam ready to go. It'll kill off anything. And I'm making him basically use whatever atomic explosion he has just on this team of dudes. And not giving him any other creatures to die. Because my creatures are pretty precious. And if it's just going to die to a board clear like the last time, I don't want to do it. Wow, he plays a Darkscale Healer, which is decidedly underwhelming. So I think I'm up against a homebrew deck here. Now, I don't believe there's any decks that use Darkscale Healer, especially not Voodoo Doctor. Holy crap. Well, it looks like I was a little bit paranoid over nothing. There was nothing coming for me. What I'm going to do here then is the following. I'm going to play a double Sengens to protect my Frothing Berserker. We'll hit the Voodoo Doctor for some extra armor and to also beef up the Berserker. And we're going to then hit my opponent for tons of damage. Shadow Word Death or Big Game Hunter would have come out by now if they existed. And my opponent is at perilously low health. So now he really needs to do the board clear. Perhaps he was baiting me into stretching out, so now my 2 prized taunters are on the line. I do still have more more card draw with the Shield Block here. And of course I can kill anything with Shield Slam, but if he were to clear my board at this stage, I actually would be in a bit of trouble. I just judged that because his last turn was so underwhelming, this guy is just playing a homebrew deck and doesn't actually have the Soul Priest, Circle of Healing, Wild Pyromancer shenanigans that we've all come to expect. No, Temple Enforcer is definitely not a card we've come to expect at all. In fact, he could even play a Sunstreet Protector in between those 2 cards and I would have no trouble barreling through for the win. So we just got a homebrew here, which is what you'd expect at rank, 16. My last video was a little bit tough, shall we say. Oh, we have a homebrew Inner Fire combo deck, it seems. My last was a little bit tough. My last game, my last video set of games. We had some really strong decks actually, and people played them pretty well. Oh, I just realized this delightful name. Wow. Freaking ridiculous. Honestly, it's 2014, people. Let's drop it with the racism. All right, I got by the way the Total Dominance, which was very nice because I was in Iowa, of course, last weekend, so I wasn't able to. And my girlfriend's grandmother's internet, it's hilarious. You open up, it's like Internet Explorer version 5. There's like 3 inches of search bars and other widgets at the top of it. Takes half an hour to load your email. There was no way I was gonna download, log into Hearthstone and do anything off of that. So I wasn't able to reroll my quests or do them or anything. And then I came back and I rerolled one of my quests and boom, got the 100 golder to help me get back on track. All right, Syso the Warlock or Siso. So this is a tricky decision because if this is a Zoolock, you don't particularly want the Frothing Berserker. If it is a Handlock, you do want the Berserker, though. I'm going to mulligan it just because I've been running into more Zoolocks than Handlocks. And I don't really want to play a 2-4 for 3 mana against Handlock. You really want to clamp down as fast as you can. Now, Fiery War Axe is very good against Handlock or Zoolock. And Armorsmith is great as well. Oh boy. Oh, a pass on turn 1 after a Warlock mulligans his whole hand is Well, it could mean it's a zoo lock. It's a zoo deck that got a very bad draw, or it could be a hand lock, of course. But we're just gonna hope it's still a zoo deck and play the Armor Smith with the coin, so I can play the Fiery War Axe on the next turn. Nope, it's a hand lock. Now there's the third choice, of course. It could also be homebrew. But, well, my bad decision to play with the coin corrects itself because Nat Pagle is... Well, this is exactly the kind of matchup where Nat Pagle is in for. I've had people tell me, oh, take out Nat Pagle, put in Gorehowl. But against control decks, which is this deck's weakest matchup, Nat Pagle is great because it has a chance to give me some card advantage, and they often don't have the resources to kill it with. Okay, so Nat Pagle goes ahead and gives me a card. That's fantastic. And we're going to go ahead and shield block. Okay, hit him in the face. So next turn, I can armor up and shield slam for 7 damage, which is a bit unfortunate because it's not going to kill a giant. It's just one shy of killing a giant. Nat, though, is on fire. He's drawn B both cards. Alright, execute. That's what we were looking for here. So slam execute is, of course, the perfect combo for giant killing. So we'll just do this. And execute it. And then next turn I've got the same issue, which is that I can armor up and shield slam and it's only 7 damage, but I got the Cruel Taskmaster for an extra point of damage. And obviously I don't really want to throw away the Armor Smith if I don't have to. My main issue right now is I'm not getting any damage through, and as he fills up his hand with stuff, if I don't get any damage through, I'm going to be in trouble. So there's the Hellfire, which doesn't really do much. He's Immortal Coil now, I assume, to kill off my Armor Smith. No, he decides Nat Pagle is the more important target. Nat, who has already drawn me 2 cards. And we've got a Frothing Berserker, which is very nice, because that's a pain to deal with. He has to throw a Soulfire down to get rid of it, and this is worth it. I'm also going to armor up here, mainly so that I can armor up next turn. And that makes Shield Slam deal the very important 9 damage. 9 damage will kill, say, a Mountain Giant beefed up by a Defender of Argus, so it'll also kill a Molten Giant. I can kill a pair of Giants, in fact, so I'm pretty well set to kill off all this stuff, and I've got a decently filled grip of cards. So the Berserker, I assume he has a Soulfire for this, which is fine. That makes it harder for him to play as Mountain Giants. He's going to heal up and then play Soulfire. He's going to give it Taunt, then play Soulfire. It'd be pretty much a miracle if he didn't have Soulfire here. He doesn't have a Soulfire! Oh my god! So what do we do here is the question. Well, I don't want to use an Execute on a Sun Fury Protector, particularly, or a Shield Slam for that matter. With that said, I mean, I've already killed one of his Giants, so he only has 3 more. I don't think Handlock runs Doomguard, does it? So it's just got those 3 other Giants somewhere in his deck, and I want to keep the board clear so that, you know, I can actually kill off all of his stuff. So I could Fiery War Axe to kill this, Slam and Cruel Taskmaster to kill that. Yeah, let's do that. I've got the Shield Slams. And actually, we're going to Slam and Cruel Taskmaster this, so I take one less point of damage, which is significant because that means I have 1 extra point of armor. Okay, so we're going to hit for 6. He can play a pair of Molten Giants now, if he wishes. Oh, no, he can't. Each one costs 6 mana, so we can play a Molten Giant, which he's fine. He's welcome to do so. I've got the Shield Slams ready to go, so Armor Up is 8 armor, that'll kill any of his things. I've also got the Argent Commander / Execute combo, which is cute. Shadow Flame, so he gets to clear the board spending 2 cards to do so. 2 cards for 2 cards, pretty good deal. Well, I'm ahead on cards here, and we're just going to go ahead and play the Argent Commander and hit him. So now the question is, do I hit him with the Fiery War Axe? This makes Molten Giants free. Now he's only gone halfway through his deck. What are the odds he's actually gotten both Molten Giants? Now, what I could also do is I could actually hit him in the face, make his Molten Giants free, try to entice him to play Molten Giant, Defender of Argus. But I don't really want to do that. I don't particularly want to do that. However, he can do it himself. He can just life tap. He's at 6 mana then. Molten Giants are free, so yeah, he can still Molten Giant, Defender of Argus. The reason that's a problem is that then I can Armor Up and Shield Slams deal only 8 damage, whereas they will have 9. But I can just play the Wild Pyromancer, then Shield Slam. Shield Slam will kill them both. So yes, I will do this. I will bait him into playing Molten Giant, Defender of Argus. I have the kill with Wild Pyromancer, Shield Slam. Pyromancer dies. This thing survives with 1 health. I get 4 damage through Fiery War Axe. Gets him down to 2 health, which is very perilous indeed. Alright, so he has a Faceless Manipulator. Oh yes, that's right, I forgot. They do have extra ways of getting these giants. That's fine. This is actually fine though, because I've got the pair of Shield Slams to kill these guys off. And then I'm getting a bunch of damage through. So we're going to do this. So my armor's at 8. Shield Slam number 1. Shield Slam number 2. And think, do I Fiery War Axe and go for the throat, or do I play it safer with the Sen'jin? What does he have? What does he have? What does he have? What does he have? I don't know if this is the right play, but it's the play I'm going to go for. So I'm protecting my Defender of Argus. Or sorry, my Argent Commander. I'm threatening lethal with the Argent Commander plus Fiery War Axe. And the Sen'jin for that matter. He can Siphon Soul this to go up to 8 health, but then how's he killing off the Sen'jin? Okay, so does he have a Siphon Soul to kill off this Argent Commander? He has a Defender of Argus, so that's how he's going to do it. Soulfire kills neither of these, unless he gets lucky and keeps the Mortal Coil in his hand. He could play Mortal Coil first. No, he doesn't have any of that. Alright. Great. So what we can do now is think. I want to play a spell before I play Execute. Unfortunately, I cannot. So what I want to do then, I guess, instead is execute this.
What now?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure this is the correct play, but it's the play we're going to make. Let's do this. Now we hit this thing. No, sorry, this thing. Like so. Execute. Pyromancer triggers. Draws a card off the Acolyte. Kill. Symphony Protector, like this. Get 4 damage through, like this. So now I'm threatening lethal again. He still has 1 more Molten Giant in there, and 1 more Defender of Argus. And I think he has another Sun Fury Protector. He could do a Shadow Flame combo to clear my board. Hellfire is very scary, because obviously he's just down to 1 health now. So he needs to get an answer to my Fiery War Axe.
Well played.
The answer that he provides is Concession. Well, what better answer can we find than the warm light of our Lord in heaven upon death? So down goes a Handlock, and I guess, was that the second game or the third game? These games are so long, it's insane. It must have just been the second game, because I was at 2 out of 7. So we're going to go ahead and play again. Unless did I lose a game in this video? I don't think I did. Yeah, I think I won both games. Or did I lose to the Priest? God, I can't. Oh no, I beat the Priest. That was a homebrew. Then we played a Handlock. God, these games are so long. It's really straining my memory. But we're going to do one more game then. And that will wrap it up for this video. Really interesting games today. Interesting games indeed. But my deck must not be too bad. It is beating Handlock, which is, you know, a staple of this metagame. And it can beat aggro pretty well. So, it's not beating on a regular basis. I mean, it has the potential to be. Awesome, 78-690. Well, our victory against that Handlock notwithstanding, I still am hoping for Zoo as opposed to Hand. So I will keep this. So the Pyromancer does a couple of things. It helps clear out Blood Imps and Young Priestesses. Slam, I've learned you should just use to kill something, even if you're not drawing a card with it. And my opponent on turn 1. He's thinking maybe he's got a choice of minions to play. This is a Zoo. Whoa, pointing at the face. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, awesome, 78-690. We've got the patented Soulfire to the Face metagame. Cue, you know, legion of people asking in the comments, oh, where are these people when I'm playing ranked? Well, they're here right now. Go play right now. They're here, okay? And I don't think I've actually lost that many games. I think it's just, you know, you wait, we're like, you know, 10 days into the month. Jeez, I can't believe someone who... This is unbelievable, guys. Can we just talk about the fact that someone who plays turn 1 Soulfire to the face is rank 15? What is going on? This thing just got Mortal Coiled. Okay, I think this person... I think this person must just be, like, trolling around or really drunk. This cannot possibly be the way they normally play. It just can't be. So we're going to have a little bit of comedy at the ending of this video. Turn 1 Soulfire to the face, turn 2 Mortal Coil Armorsmith, who is at full health. And, okay, this is pretty good. I could play the Frothing Berserker, but let's just keep it simple, keep it safe. We get 2 armor. We also clear the board. We also get a card. We also get damage on the face. We also get overwhelming card advantage. I mean, really, what else does a man need? So yeah, this game is over. It's just not technically over. I don't think, you know, I could be playing against freaking Reynad here and I would win. There's just no way I can lose right now. And yes, we're happy to have Kor'kron Elite, although if this were Battle Rage, I could get 2 cards out of it. But I'm still happy to have the Kor'kron Elite, which I guess says something. That is like, even under the best circumstances, I'm still happier not to have the Battle Rage. Okay, so this Knife Juggler actually poses a bit of a problem. I can't kill it with the Armorsmith. I could kill it with the Kor'kron, spending my whole turn doing so, but I will not. So we're just going to play the Frothing Berserker and hit Yield Face. So if he wants to leave this Frothing Berserker alive and use the Knife Juggler to kill the Armorsmith, that's fine by me. He could of course play minions and have a 1 in 3 chance of killing the Armorsmith. Each minion though, or each knife that hits a minion grows the Berserker. So there's Soulfire number 2. He is out of Soulfires. He throws away an Argent Commander. Plays a Flame Whip. Why he didn't play the Flame Whip before playing the Soulfire? So he played the Soulfire, which meant there was a 50-50 chance the Flame Whip would be tossed out of his hand. Oh, so much silliness. So much silliness. Well, the Kodo doesn't have any targets. We will just, I guess, play the Kor'kron then. I could even race him at this point. I'm just going to race him. Really, there's just no reason not to. It'd be hilarious if I lost, but I'm at 29 health. He's got absolutely jack nothing. He does need to deal with this somehow. This seems to be, I mean, the Knife Juggler Flame Whip, I don't see anything that's non-standard here. This seems to be a very standard Zoo deck. So, yeah, he's just playing it awfully. I mean, is that just a testament to how good Zoo is, that someone could be playing with Soulfire to the face like that and still winning? An interesting conundrum. Now, I could armor up Pyromancer, Shield Slam, and then these guys would drop to 1 health. I don't have another card to follow it up with, so we'll just do the Kodo then and kill the Shield Bearer and threaten to kill the Knife Jugglers. I'm down to 18 health. Man, you know, with his draw, it's funny, with his draw, he might have actually been able to beat me, even with me having Armorsmith and Pyromancer. So maybe my deck isn't as good against Zoo as I thought, because I definitely would have been in a bit of trouble if I had if he had not played horrifically badly. Yeah, I'm at 15 health. I shudder to think what would have happened had this guy been playing normally. Alright, so there we go. We got what we needed, which was another spell for the Pyromancer. So we shield block. Pyromancer triggers. This is a very important interaction. You shield slam the golem. Remember guys, Pyromancer triggers after the spell. So first, shield slam kills the golem. Then the golem comes back. And then the Pyromancer triggers. Although I forgot that these Knife Jugglers were going to fling. Wow. I forgot the Knife Jugglers were going to fling. There was actually 5 and 9 odds that my Pyromancer would have died before he could have triggered, leaving him with a board of 1 toughness creatures. That was very silly. I messed up. Wow. Against the noob here, I totally messed up. I should not have gone about things in that fashion because I forgot that the respawning golem would cause the Knife Jugglers to trigger. I should have shield blocked, shield slammed the Voidwalker, and then had the Knife Juggler, or the Knife Jugglers die for sure. Okay, well, let's just not worry too much. So now I have a 10-7. This is threatening lethal damage. And these is only 5 damage here, so unless he gets... Well, he's already used both Soul Fires, unless he's running a Siphon Soul or a Shadow Bolt in here, and he gets it right now. He's screwed. Shield Bearer will actually save him. Unless I get another Shield Slam. Or an Execute. Actually, Execute won't do it. Alright, there's a shield slam though. Oh my gosh, this is really bizarre. The guy played horribly, but I still actually came like ridiculously close to dying. So I must have misplayed really badly against his board. I don't know if that was hilarious or embarrassing. I guess that was both. But I did end up with 18 health, so it's not like he was that close to beating me. Yeah, that guy, I don't know. Maybe he was trolling around, or maybe you can just get to rank 15 playing Soulfire to the face on turn 1. Either way, awesome, 78, 690. If you see this, don't Soulfire to the face, and don't just throw your Mortal Coils out on turn 2. This is an aggressive deck that you are playing, but you have to be aggressive wisely. Well, let that be Papa's lesson to end this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and or subscribe, and I'll be back soon with some more Hearthstone. Take care, folks.